Okay, for those of you guys who have not participated in a map chat early on, what I do here, oh my god, Steve's fur's all over my face. What I usually do here is I'll talk to you guys about initial positioning, where I think you want to consider going, and reasons why not, and allow you guys to, make your decisions accordingly. So, let's talk about this. Now, last time I did a map chat, my Stevie cam was in the way. The lap cam, I should say, was in the way of that. So let's move him down to this corner right now so you guys can still see him. But seeing the mini-map is important. Matter of fact, I'll make the mini-map a little bit bigger. Son, what's up, dude? Thanks for the raid. How you doing, man? I got the alert turned off, but I'll play that for you again in a little bit. Right now we are talking about the maps for clan battles, and we're looking at Trident. So Trident is a smaller map, right? And because of that, it does allow for battleships to have a really good impact on the game. Hashtag never abandon the flank, right? Right? I've seen that before. I have a feeling you had that problem earlier. So for battleships, Stevie's never in the way. The map is in Stevie's way. Lol. For battleships, generally speaking, I like to have a battleship positioned over here by this island. Thank you very much, Stone. I like to have a battleship over here facing northeast. So in other words, looking up in this general direction. Okay, I'll put a battleship up there. Oh, and by the way, those of you that jumped in on Stone's raid, we do have some very special giveaways going. Type in ! ticket, join the channel, be a follower, be present, and you'll get to go shopping on Wargaming's dime. You'll get to pick out your own prize, whatever ship you would like, up to tier 9. Hi. And this is Stevie. He's on my lap because he just had some food. So anyways, battleship-wise, I like having a battleship up here with the ability to go past the island if necessary. That's very important. But oh crap. What are you? Why are you? I didn't send you into the cap, or did I? That's gonna put a timer on the capture point, so I'm gonna have to exit out and start over again. Sorry guys. Hey Happa. Too much going on. Lol. Alright, let's try that again. I could have sworn I put it next to... Maybe I was using the WASD keys and that was causing the destroyer to move. Oh well, whatever. Quickly enough. So, I like to put a battleship at C7, right? Because it's got Overwatch of C, and it's got a really good cross shot on the south side here. And that's what you really want to look for. You want to look for your opportunities for cross shots of enemy cruisers, right? Battleships on the other side of the map, and by the way, it's basically reflected. You would do the same thing on the south side with your battleships as you would do on the north side. Putin gifting a sub to Happa Fodder. Thank you very much, Putin. Awesome stuff, dude. Here's where I would put the battleship on C side, or on the A side, over here on the west side of the map. Put them about here. Again, kite away position. And now you've got the ability to cover B cap, A cap, and then you can, if you need to, get cross shots on cruisers heading to C cap. So, generally speaking, that's where I will put, I like to put battleships early on. Cruisers! Let's talk about the Soviet cruisers first, the Russian cruisers. So, Moskva, Petro are very good cruisers to have that can cover a cap with radar. This here is a very risky position though for them, simply because you've got that that other spot right up there. You've got this island here, but it's very open to being cross-shot. You're almost forced to sit, if you're going to put a cruiser here, bow in looking south like this. So I don't know that I would want to do that with that cruiser. That's a good spot for a Des Moines, but for a Russian radar cruiser, I like positioning it. You could position it here because you got that really tall side for you. You could also position it over here. This is not a bad choice either. But ultimately, one of those two areas I think is okay. You could go all the way out over here as well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a radar cruiser be sent off to this flank, because this flank is a very powerful spot. Another good place. There goes Stevie. Another good place that you can put a radar cruiser is right here, kind of bow in, facing this direction, like I mentioned, for similar reason. Okay. Alternately, you could put a kiting cruiser over here. You could put a Napoli, an Henri, you know, a Goliath, that sort of thing. You could put a Goliath or whatever over here, kiting away, and playing games that way.
Are you here? Like, this is the only call out I'm doing.
All right. But the idea there is you want to be able to cover as much of CCAP as possible when it gets lit up by your teammates with radar and stuff like that. South side, pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same, right? So you could put a radar cruiser right here. Although this flat area makes it a little bit harder for you to put that appropriately. Generally speaking, this is a strong... This part of the island on the south side is very strong for a Russian radar cruiser, because you've got that upper part there that just blocks a lot of that kind of stuff. So that could work. This is also tenuous just because, you know, low-lying rocks over there. I see a lot of people like to put radar cruisers on this island on the south, and this is actually a pretty strong position as well. For like a Moskva, could work well here. I've seen Des Moines here too. Yeah, maybe, but Des Moines has to play farther back. Des Moines has to be farther back so it can back around the island if it needs to. So I don't think that's a good place necessarily for Des Moines, but I've seen it played there before. Now let's get back to the other side. Let's talk about the western side. There's a lot of good options for cruisers on the west side, guys. This island here, at Echo, Foxtrot 4, and 5, this island here, I call Fuck You Island. And I call it that way because it's a great place to put a radar cruiser, and it literally dares everybody to come after it. So I like this spot here in a radar cruiser, especially a Des Moines, because you can go into here, right, and you can shoot stuff over here. You can radar A and B if you need to, no problemo. This is the danger zone side, especially with the lower rocks here. So I would not put a Des Moines over here. If you're going to put a Des Moines on this side to cover this side, you can see how far back it needs to be. It needs to be back about here or farther so it can back up if necessary. I don't know that I would put a Russian cruiser here. You could do that, but I think an American cruiser is better suited there. So that's a good Des Moines position, in my opinion. From the south, the same thing goes. Although you've got more of the open shoals on this side, so Des Moines is not as strong over here. Because of that, I think you'd be better off putting a Russian cruiser there because of the bow armor. Des Moines is more powerful over here though, because of that stronger side. So it really does depend on which side of the map you spawn in on for what kind of cruiser you want to put on this side of the map. But you definitely want to put something there. And then let's take a look at this side of the map over here. Des Moines I've seen played over here, which you could do. Although I think Russian radar cruiser, better over here. And then on the flank, you could also post up a Russian radar cruiser here, because it's got a good commanding view of A. It could back up if it needs to, and it's very hard for it to get flanked. Alternately, you could put a Russian radar cruiser here. The problem with here is you can't really impact the battle other than just whatever's in front of you. So I don't know that I think that that's worthwhile. And by the time you get out here in a radar cruiser, you're just way too far out of the fight. So I just don't see it being useful. Although you could play a spammy cruiser over here, like an Henri, like a Venezia, like a Napoli, that sort of deal. But early on, those are the positions I would do for cruisers. Let's take a look at the southern islands here, and then we'll move into destroyers. This might take a while to get to. Sorry. But the islands are a little bit different on the southern side, so you're going to have to think about how you're going to set that up. I see that we are ready to go with stream raiders, but I kind of want to finish talking about this before we pull. So let me go ahead and move farther to the south here. And down here, you've got a couple of choices. This is a very tenuous position. A lot of people think that they're safe here because of this rock, but it's such a small rock, it's very easy to get flanked and shot at from your broadside. So personally, I don't like positioning something here. I think this is a very risky decision to throw something over here. But your mileage may vary. This rock up here, this island, is a much better place for cruisers to go, typically. I've seen a lot of people like to put their cruisers over here. If you do, you've got to be very cautious because you back up too far and you can be cross-shot over that lower part of the island. So you could go over here with the radar cruiser, but in my opinion, it's just not as effective, I guess. But that's where I guess that's where I would put a mosque flare or something like that. H2 Corner Island. Yeah, I was just about to fixing to talk about that one too. This side of this island is just too exposed, so you wouldn't want to put anything there. By the time you're this far back, you can shoot things long range, but I feel like you're better off being a little bit farther forward in that situation. Let's talk about this H2 Corner Island. It's closer than the C2 island is, but not by too much. And that's the main problem with this island, is it's so far back. Again, if you're on this side of the island, who are you going to shoot at? One, maybe two targets, and that's it. And if you're on this side of the island over here, you're not able to do what you want to do, which is to support your team at A. I mean, I guess you could move up to about here. This would be an okay position. But that's about it. I don't see too much out there beyond that would work. All right, let's go to destroyers then. And for destroyers, do whatever the hell you want. If you've got two destroyers, you're going to send one to A and one to C. If it's a smoke destroyer, you're going to want to stay close to your spammy boat to give them smoke coverage as they get into position. But frankly, the only place that I wouldn't go at first is B cap. What a lot of destroyers do wrong, in my opinion, is they go too quickly into a cap, they get radared, and they die. If you do want to go into a cap, I would recommend, and this is for any cap on a tight map like this, where radar reigns supreme, I would go up to the cap, I would touch the cap, and then I'd sail along the edge of the cap. And as soon as you're radared, duck away and run. And then when the radar expires, come back. And that's the kind of game that you're going to be playing as a destroyer. That's why, in my opinion, S-tier destroyers have heals, and S-tier destroyers have radar, so that if they get detected, they can pop their radar and they can see what destroyer is detecting them. But you're going to do that for either one. The most dangerous cap to get into is B cap. I don't think B cap is a good cap to go and contest early on either side, really. There's no cover whatsoever. At least C cap, you've got those islands, which, frankly, they're there to block enemy line of sight, not to give you cover. And then, so B cap here, look, you go into the B cap, now what's going to protect you? Absolutely nothing. You have to go all the way to this side of the map to get protection. So if you're going to approach this cap, you want to approach it from this side, in my opinion. You want to touch the cap, bait out the radar, and then, of course, run away. If you're in a Ragnar, if you're in a Smallland, you hold the engine boost until you get radared. Okay? A cap is also hard to get into simply because of this island here, or the island on the south side as well. A lot of destroyers I see will come into the cap like this, and now they get radared. And now they're screwed because they have the island behind them. They can't get around it It's going to take a long time for them to get out. So A cap is one of those, if you're going to cap it, you're going to want to go in either from the north, or you could go in from the east as well. But I think north is safer. You go in like this, you angle your boat like this, and if you get radared, hit your engine boost and skedaddle. And just head due north, looking back to make sure that the island, the big island here, is blocking most of the shots that enemies have on you. You could take the long route of going around this island to get into A. But I feel like if you do that, by the time you get in there, it's almost too late. The enemy's already taken up positions, and more importantly, your team can't punish the enemy team. Because if they radar you early, they're going to probably start shooting you early. They'll get detected that much easier. And perhaps if your battleships went out for those cross shots, they can smack your, the broadside of the enemy cruiser that they detect, or that you're detecting for them. So that's my map talk for Trident. Guys, did I miss any islands? Are there any questions you guys have at this point? If not, we will move to Stream Raiders. I'll get my dirty water, and we'll start doing some replays.
Oh, hang on a second.
Thank you for the follow. Yes, hanging on.
1 second. I have just over 10,000 channel points.
Well,
so
okay.
I will, in fact...
Well, I'm talking about the map right now. But it looks like, chat, you guys are pretty quiet about that, so no problemo. We'll cut this here. I'll go get some dirty water. We'll do our Stream Raiders, and we'll do some replays. Alright, YouTube, when you see this later, let me know what you think of this map chat video. If there's a place that I forgot, I want to hear it. What's your favorite part of this map? Share that as well. The more knowledge we share with each other, the better we all get at this game. And the more fun these games are, frankly.